from an iPhone 6 to like an iPhone, what is it now? I don't know, 11 or
No, it's
12?
going from a dial-up to an it went from a dial-up to an iPhone
Yeah,
12.
it was going from a dial-up to an iPhone. And so I was just like, I don't know how my brain is going to handle all of this pressure and demand and, excitement and enthusiasm. I I basically made a wish and I got everything I wished for. So be careful what you wish for, right? And of course, with the hard work and everything, it was just like it was a lot. So I was getting married in India, and as a present to myself and for my marriage at the time, I wanted to learn transcendental meditation. And you are the guy in the world. You've taught everyone, you've taught so many people I admire and look up to, like Oprah. You taught my friend Hugh Jackman and his wife, Deb, and just so many like amazing people know who Bob Roth is, and the David Lynch Foundation, which you are the head of the David Lynch Foundation. And if anyone doesn't know who David Lynch is, go and just check out his filmography. He's an incredible director, writer.
Twin Peaks, he's famous for.
Twin Peaks,
Yeah.
yes. Man of mystery, but also man of meditation. It changed his life. And I'd like for you just to like tell me and the people that are watching a little bit about the David Lynch Foundation and what we're going to do today on this beautiful winter solstice.
Yes, the shortest day of the year for those of us in the northern hemisphere.
That's
And
right.
it's amazing. In New York City, there'll be 5 hours and 40 minutes of daylight. And no, excuse me, 9 hours and 40 minutes of daylight. And during summer solstice, 15 hours. So 6 hour
Wow.
difference, 6 hour difference.
That's a lot.
Amazing.
We should be
Yeah,
hibernating and
that's
meditating.
right. And meditating.
Yes.
So the David Lynch Foundation was started about 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, to address a very real pandemic that affects all of us, and that is stress, trauma, anxiety, depression. And yes, medicines help, and yes, exercise helps, but we've lost sort of access with a field of quiet and equanimity and peace that lies naturally within every one of us. Like an ocean has choppy waves on the surface, but
Yeah.
is silence at the depth. Our mind is active and creative and millions of things. You got Daisy and this song and then Orlando and we all have that. It's like choppy waves. But deep within every one of us, doesn't matter our religion, our age, our philosophy, it's there, field of silence, field of quiet. And we've lost access. And so TM is such a simple technique that just allows every human being, you can be a skeptic, it's great, doesn't matter, you don't have to believe in it, for the mind to settle down and feel that, experience that peace. And when that happens, your body gains a state of rest deeper than sleep. And all the hormones of anxiety and stress and worry get flushed out of your system. And as you know, it wakes up, you have beautiful description of your meditation, but it wakes up the creative networks in the brain. What was your description about that?
Well, so you taught us to meditate and taught me, and every time I go on tour, you
Yeah, I
teach
love
my
that. I love
you
that.
teach my tour mate, you teach my dancers. We're always meditating about 2 hours before a show. But for me, when I learned, my mantra and I investigated TM and I really wanted to learn and you taught me, it was profound. Actually, I would say some of my best ideas, they come after a meditation. And when your mind is quiet, it's when you get that deep, deep rest. And so what happens when I meditate, I find a very quiet place in my room, as quiet as can be. And sometimes that's outside. It's wonderful to do in, the sunrise and the sunset. It's so beautiful because the sun isn't so harsh. So if you have a little patch of grass, or if you don't, if you're in an apartment, you can do it on a couch or in your bed, sitting up, a chair. Any chair will do. What happens to me is I did the meditation and it's 20 minutes long, and we're not going to do that particular meditation, but I do this meditation and it's 20 minutes long, and I start and I say my mantra, and there's all this stuff that comes, and it's like, yes, it's like, you must do this, you must buy this, you have to do this, and Christmas and Daisy and Orlando and the dogs, are they okay? Is there poop on the floor? And then it goes, and it's like all of that starts to clear away, and I get deeper, and what happens in my head is like a halo starts to go around of sorts, because I'm saying my mantra and there's this quiet that happens, this real deep sleep, because my dreams are like IMAX movies. And there's this deep sleep that happens in my brain where it feels like I'm reopening up neural pathways. It's like I'm pushing through dusty cobwebs in my neural pathways, and I feel like a lot, like I'm lighting up my whole head, and I'm wearing this halo of sorts, this halo of clarity. And that 20 minutes to me feels like I've had the deepest rest all day. I check it, it's like I check in with my body and it tells me, oh my gosh, you are so tired, or you're ready for the day. And that 20 minutes sometimes feel like I have found 2 hours on the clock, 2 extra hours on the clock. It's like I found 26 hours. And I stole 2 hours on the clock. And it makes my, listen, I got to tell you, Bob, it's the biggest thing I believe in, other than like, therapy or the Hoffman process. It changed my life. And when I started doing it, I had less anxiety, less depression, and more creativity, more rest. And I really felt calm. Like if I was even if I was hungover, because I had like, been out at the club, I'd wake up, I'd meditate, and it would cure my hangover. I would be jet lagged and it would cure my jet lag. I'd have anxiety, or I'd have like, I would be really moody sometimes because, when you have a lot on your plate, sometimes you can feel overwhelmed and then therefore have moods. And I would be moody, and I would say, I need to excuse myself for 20 minutes. And I would come back a completely changed person. So I can't encourage it more to all the people that are watching to investigate transcendental meditation. It's changed my life for the past 10 years and got me through.
It's so beautiful the way you describe it. And every year as you meditate, you talk, it's more profound. And that is for people who think, well, meditation, what is that relevant to me? I'm 16 or I'm 24, I'm a single mom, or I got millions of things to do. I don't have time to do meditation. Your answer to that would be?
You get more time on the clock.
Yeah.
You really do. And as a mother, by the way, as a mother, you definitely don't have time. I went from sleeping 10 hours to maybe 6, like choppy. And so one of the things that's helped me the most as a mother is taking 20 minutes while Daisy's having a nap, meditating, even meditating in her room while she's napping. I find I get to steal 2 hours. It just like, it gives me the deepest rest, because I don't know about anyone else, but getting to sleep sometimes can make me feel anxious, because I'm thinking like, will I go to sleep? Will I go to sleep? Will I go to sleep? And then all of a sudden I'm asleep, right? But I think that's anxiety from the day or from coffee or what have you. And then also, you know, I just I find that like it's the best thing to start your day. It's better than coffee. It's better than coffee, and we love coffee.
Well, the thing is that it's something, and why I so appreciate you is you're bringing out this idea of anxiety or depression. So many of us don't want to talk about it. We don't want to admit. We just power forward. If we hurt our arm, we don't have any problem saying, oh, I hurt my arm, or if I have the stomach flu, I have the stomach flu. But no one wants to admit, or few people want to admit, oh, they feel sad inside, or they feel insecure. All the other girls are prettier than me. All the other guys are this or that. And it just grows and grows and grows. And the problems of mental health are really accelerating. during COVID, but just in general, particularly among people from, from teens to 24, 25, and just you speaking it out, number one, and number two, having something as simple as transcendental meditation to, along with other things, of course, is not a standalone, but other, as you were talking about, so helpful. So I'm so grateful to you for your standing up about transcendental meditation, but your courage, just even what you just said. No, I'm going to the lighting, you're a beautiful woman, you're a beautiful soul, and you're a gift. And I will talk a little, if you don't mind, a little breathing meditation.
Yes. So before we start the breathing meditation, I wanted everyone to know where they could go
Yes.
to find transcendental meditation, and that would be www.davidlynchfoundation.org. Am I right?
Or yes, that's correct. Or even simpler, www.tm.org. Also.
Oh,
Yeah.
better. Okay.
Yeah.
Just check out www.tm.org. That
Yes.
should be easy enough for our brains to remember, even though we're so overloaded right now. It's like, it's so funny. It's like, I think it's a really stressful time. It used to be, it shouldn't be this stressful. Obviously, COVID and the conditions of the world right now, it's just doubled, tripled, quadrupled. But um, I think more than ever, meditation is so important. And I got to tell you, last night, Orlando and I were watching Saturn get close